came in previously.
Oh my gosh. Okay, we are back. I think my video is frozen, but that's okay. As long as you can hear me, I don't care.
I'm just going to go and quickly check just to make sure.
Oh my goodness.
Hello.
Okay. So for anyone just joining us or who has rejoined us, please rejoin us, please. So I'm in Northern Ireland. We're currently under a tornado watch. We're in Storm Aisha, however you say her name. I don't know. And it knocked out my lights, which then knocked out my internet. So very, very sorry. Pete, are you recording now?
Oh, we were still recording. I carried on going as the true professional I am.
Yes, and I'm very glad about that. I missed all of that.
Yeah, we were basically just doing our wrap up, and I covered the couple of questions that did come in. So if you want to know what obviously happened from there, go and listen to the audio version when it comes out.
Yeah, yes. We definitely weren't slagging you off, Kylie. It's all good.
You need to do this every time.
Yeah.
Oh, that 5 minutes that you missed.
Oh yeah. What you don't know is I really drank all my wine and then accidentally unplugged my Ethernet.
Excellent. Don't most podcasts usually put that up as a Patreon special?
There you go.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow, I'm all twisted in my wires now. I was frantically trying to get back online. Yes. So Pete, I have to defer to you. So, are there more questions in chat, or did you just cover two, or did you cover all?
We just covered two, so we're going to give it a few minutes just to see if any more come in. So, like I said, we basically just done the wrap up and those final questions.
Yes, which I'm very thankful to Pete for. Again, apologies. If you could only hear outside, it is like chaos out there.
Yeah,
I apologize. It's like you have absolutely no control over what happened. It's like, I'm so sorry that the storm knocked out my lights. Like, yeah. I tried to stop it. I
did. I went out. You don't know. I went out and I shouted, "Stop it! I have a podcast with Andrew and Dan from Debug."
I was like, oh, my lights are flickering, and then you stopped, and we're like, oh god, I really hope you haven't been electrocuted.
Oh goodness. Okay.
So yeah, question. After the awards and issue 4, what is next for Debug? We may have covered that, but let's sleep. We'll ask it anyway.
Sleep, yes. Sleep is probably what's going to happen in the short term. And then we're kind of because we're a quarterly magazine, we're going to dive straight into making issue 5. Because that takes a little bit of time to get all of the content together and get all the writers kind of sorted with their commissions. I've got so after I took over from Dean, obviously all of the writers that he had commissioned were fantastic, and most of them, I think all of them, are still writing for Debug. But I also then kind of asked for a bunch more writers because if anybody knows me, I'm all about diversity and making sure there's a huge variety of people who are having their voices heard. And so I have a good number of female writers, of LGBTQ plus writers, people of color. I wanted to have a variety of opinions about video games throughout the magazine from very different people. So I have about 30 of them now to manage and get all of their stuff in. So a lot of my time will be spent doing that. Other than that, I think it's planning secret stuff that we haven't told anybody yet. Ooh. And whether we have the capacity to do it or not. But we have a lot of ideas, lots of ideas, and we hope to do them all. But yeah, we need capacity and money too. So if anybody's a millionaire out there and would like to just give us some money, that would be lovely. Thanks.
That's all we really need. Come on.
Yeah. You could rename the magazine after them.
Yeah, exactly.
Dan Game Tank said, "Oh, did you mention the page count on issue 4?"
Oh, is it increased?
Oh yes. So previously the page count's been roughly 80 to 84 pages, and for issue 4 we have upped it to 100 pages. Nice. There is a lot. There's a lot of stuff. It was in fact there's a lot of stuff. We increased the page count because I had so much, but I've even still had to cut things out because we couldn't fit them into 100 pages. essentially, like, it's my first, like, so obviously I've worked in printed media before, but not like a magazine like this. And I wasn't prepared for the amount of people coming to me and going, please, can you review this game? And me being me, I'm like, yes, I want people to hear all about this game. But we just didn't have enough space to cover every game that asked to be in it. So I've done my best and I've covered a lot. Like Daniel, when he first saw my list, and I think it was nearly 40 games that were going to be reviewed, up from 18 the previous issue. And I was like, he was like, yeah, that's too many.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
It is now much lower than 40. But yeah, it took a lot of game. Yeah, it's but 100 pages of indie gaming goodness. It's going to be excellent. And yeah, and just to mention as well, Dan, who asked the question, we've not announced it yet or anything, but he is actually our brand new deputy editor. And probably while he's watching this, he's also proofing issue 4. So thanks.
Yay!
Get back to work.
Yeah, get back to work.
No, keep watching the
You're on
stream.
company mode now.
Dan's also been instrumental in the awards themselves.
Oh, right.
Yes, he was our eligibility. What was it? What was the term we gave him?
So I think it was someone in our chat that came up with it, but it was the eligibilitarian.
Oh, I like that. That's interesting. I like that.
Yes. He made sure all of the submissions were eligible for submission, as in they came out in 2023 or they're an indie game. We did have one person actually did submit Resident Evil 4 as a game for the awards, which is definitely not an indie game, unfortunately.
Oh goodness! Oh,
definitely
I love
great, but yeah, not indie.
Very good. Yeah, great. Love it. But yeah, not an indie game.
Oh, that's great. But so chat, you go ahead. If we missed your question, because I know there was 2 questions at the very, very beginning, but guess what? When my power cut, I lost all of chat.
Oh, I covered those.
The ones in the very beginning?
I'm sure I did.
Sweet. I missed them. But chat, if you want to throw some more questions at these 2 very lovely gentlemen. Again, apologies that we lost connection and power. That is not
unacceptable.
Yes.
We've got another question coming from Manic Attack, who said,
Sure.
My question was, what's your thoughts on some of the gaming companies deciding to sell their games in the future at $100?
Ooh.
$100.
That's a bit much.
I mean, it is a lot. I mean, the thing is, I'm guessing those are AAA games more so than indies, because I don't think indies would likely sell their games at such a price. But
no.
It's weird because people balked at $70 when that was kind of announced that like next gen was going to be 70.
I did.
It was like, oh my god. But actually, in practice, not many games have been full price. That because retail tends to discount. So it's still obviously be more expensive than previous years. I guess you've got to factor so many things in because games do cost a lot to make, and they have huge staff. They have huge amounts of staff to pay and all that kind of stuff. And yes, of course, the bigger companies, they have shareholders to pay, and quite a lot of that goes to them. But yeah, I don't know. It's cost of living and like inflation and stuff all play a factor. I'm not going to pretend that $100 games are like amazing for consumers because they're not. But I do understand that people do have to pay bills. If an indie studio made up of only a few people charged $100 for a game, I'd probably pay it if it was a good enough game because I know that money is going towards some amazing people who have made a really great game. AAA, maybe not so much, because although there are amazing people who make those games, you also know that a lot of that goes to shareholders.
It does, yeah.
So if I was going to be paying $100, I'd rather it go to an indie company than it go to a AAA company. So.
Yeah, it's totally fair.
But,
although when you really look at how much games cost back in the 90s, say,
that's what I was about to say. Yes, I was about to say exactly what Dan is saying, but go ahead.
It could be argued that the price of games has actually been going down.
It has. It actually has. I remember now. Obviously, I grew up in America. I don't know if you couldn't tell, but and the games there. We're talking Super Nintendo, Sega, what you guys call the Master System. We call it Genesis. All of that. We were looking at easily $60-$70 games at the time back then. That was back then in the 90s.
Yeah.
Guys. Yeah.
This
So
is
That's
actually
probably like 120 now.
exactly.
This was a conversation that was broached on the Super Mario RPG special that we did where me and Rezo spoke about it. So it was actually very interesting to hear that some people don't remember that time, but some people probably weren't.
I was gonna say they weren't born yet, Pete.
I know, but we're old. That's the problem.
I am not old. I am not old.
I am.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, like Max says, I remember buying NES games new for 40 pounds. And that was classed as expensive. So getting stuff for less than 40s these days is a bargain. Exactly. That's exactly what I remember,
true.
but the American equivalent, which would be $50.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
Shall we wrap this show up now?
Oh.
I think that's it for questions.
Okay. We're gonna wrap this show portion, but we will have a very brief post show for anyone who wants to join us over at twitch.tv/rapid reviews. Yes. So I'm going to give these two lovely gentlemen a couple of minutes each if they want to, let's hope they want to,
Plug the stuff.
Hype
Which
up.
we may have already done, but for those watching live.
Yes, hype up the award show and stuff. But yes, Dan, where can they find you? What do you want to plug and hype? It's your floor.
They can find me on all the socials under the name The Wave Bloke.
Right.
And I mainly talk about behind the scenes nonsense about kind of debug stuff. So if you want to see a little bit more of a deep dive into what goes into producing a magazine and an award show and all the other crazy things we do, that is the place to do it. And that's the place to catch my 2 a.m. tweets about
nice.
how much I have to do. And, yeah.
We've all been there. Yeah. Love those 2 a.m. tweets. But Andrew, what about you?
Yes. So just to plug before I plug myself, anything to do with debug you can find at teamdebug.com. We have a kind of a social section there, a community tab. So you'll find our X, our Discord. Most importantly, please do come join us on Discord because we have a great community over there, and we like to talk to people. For myself, you can find me at Oddment84 on X/Twitter, whatever you want to call it. And I guess, I'm doing debug. I do also have my books, which I'm sure I've talked about on this show before at one point or another.
But do it again.
So that's Dreamcast. I'll do it again. Dreamcast Year 1, Dreamcast Year 2. There hopefully should be a Dreamcast Year 3 when I find the time to do that. But I do have copies. I don't know when that will be, but it'll be at some point. You can still buy copies. I do still have some left physically. You can go to bit.ly/DCY physical. That's DCY Delta Charlie Yankee. I'm going to show off my call center.
Nice.
I wasn't in the police. I worked at a call center. We had to learn the phonetic alphabet.
Yep, been there, done that.
Exactly. Yeah. What everybody has to do. Or you can get them digitally at bit.ly/DCY digital. Made it nice and simple. But yeah, I don't talk too much on Twitter these days just because I'm so busy. But if you do come and see me on Twitter, expect some posts about debug and probably some political stuff because I'm always just basically shouting how bad the Tories are. So look forward to that.
Couldn't tell from the t-shirt.
Really, this is so faded now as well.
I can still see it.
I've had somebody come up to me on the street and say, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Yeah, yeah."
I've done that. Like I've been wearing a shirt. I have this shirt that says "Stop looking at me or I'll do a trick." I forgot that it said that. And so people come up to me and they're like, well, do a trick. And I'm like, what? Oh! And every time Andrew is on the show, I do tell our lovely, wonderful audience that my favorite Dreamcast game will always be Seaman. I love Seaman.
I'm glad that you pronounced it that way. And not the other way.
No,
We did a whole bloody episode.
It gets clipped every time.
Yeah.
But that's going to wrap it up for this portion, the podcast portion, which our lovely listeners may not know, but we did get interrupted by a lovely little outside electrical storm, which knocked my lights out. Power outage? Whatever. We thank you so much for joining us. We're going to do a couple of minutes of a post show over on our Twitch stream, which is at www.twitch.tv/Rapid Reviews. I've drank a lot of wine. I couldn't remember the name of our show, Pete. So please, I know. Please join us over there where you get to interact with us and have fun, and we get to cuss and drink and smoke. Not really. Well, the drinking part, yes. And the cussing part. But we're going to wrap this portion up. And we thank you so much for joining us. Wait, Pete, did you want to plug your other podcasts? I forgot.
Maybe.
I forgot. That's my fault.
If you're into films and TV, please go and check out the Never Watchers podcast, where I do MCU and films that we've never watched before. So you can check that out on Spotify and other good and maybe not so good podcast platforms. Also, just as a reminder, if you are thinking of going to Timeless in August, Rapid 24 if you want to get 15% off. Also, and finally, I will be appearing on Mags' stream, the Tuesday night gaming chat, on the 23rd of January, so this coming Tuesday. So
Yes.
please go and check that out over on twitch.tv/middle-aged gamer guy.
So wait,
Yes.
Pete, would you
Ooh,
say...
that's.
No, go ahead, Andrew, before I say what I'm going to
I was
say.
gonna say that's as we were talking about going to places earlier when we were talking, and that's reminded me we're going to be at Timeless, and we'll also be at Knott's Video Game Expo as well. So forgot about that. Yeah, we'll be there.
So Pete, does that mean we will see you next Tuesday?
Let's end the stream now. Let's go.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us. Yes, come watch Pete on Mags' stream, Middle Aged Gamer Guy UK, and also I cannot believe that I forgot to plug Timeless. Do that, and that's gonna do it for us for the podcast portion. So, thank you for listening and watching, and we will see you and talk to you next week. Bye!
Bye-bye.
Bye.
That ends the podcast portion, and now the After Dark portion begins.
Ooh.
It's only
I
a
was
few
expecting like
minutes.
the sexy like erotic music to come on.
That's right. All the lights turn red. It gets low. So I'm going to briefly read through the last section of chat, and then chat, you get to talk now, whatever you want to say. Let's see. I read that already. Oh, 69. What?
Really stuck it out.
That's the first thing you think of there. Brilliant.
It's always the first thing I think of. Big Jesse says, I remember getting my PS1 with like 4 games, and that's what I had for a couple of years. My PS1, I got The Sims 1, Vice City, Crazy Taxi, Final Fantasy 7, I believe, was my first PS1 games. Yeah, it's insane. I'm so old. No, I'm not old. That means that no one else is old either.
Hello.
Manic says, I'm watching a YouTube video today where basically they were doing an ad for Skyrim for like 25 pounds. Guys, Skyrim's been out for what, 11 years now? 10 years?
Long time. Yeah.
Long time.
Be 12 years now.
That's insane. I remember when it dropped, I was very happy and I bought it. Manic says, which I think was from Game Station when it used to exist before it got bought out.
Oh,
by
R.I.P. Game
Games.
Station.
Whew. So Mags and I went to Game this past weekend. I haven't been in Game in a couple of months, probably 4 or 5 months. All it was, I kid you not, was toys.
Yep.
They had a
Nah,
little
pretty
section of
much Game
games. Yeah. And I was like, why are you calling yourself Game? You should just call yourself Toys. Because that's all that was there.
If we were doing a news episode this week, I would have said that about the old, they're not accepting new trade-ins and they're getting rid of all their trade-ins soon.
What?
They're selling them all off.
Oh, that's not cool. That's why I go to cash.
Might mean there's some very cheap games though. While they're trying to sell off the old trading ones though.
Yeah, I was having a look. There's not many cheap ones at the moment because Mike Ashley's got a line in his pocket.
Yeah, I can't believe that they actually charge you for postage whether or not you have it delivered to store. Like even if you go and pick it up from the store, they charge you £5, but then they give you that back as a £5 voucher to spend at Game. So it's like you have to spend the £5 regardless. Like
that's right.
Yeah.
Cincho says after dark portion hype. Yeah. This is my favorite part of the show. Yay. Mag says yay for cussing. Cuss. Yay. It's my favorite part. Big Jason says Mag who. Mag says whoop whoop. Be great to have you on, Pete. Yes. Mag's
yeah, because I'm the only one who can plug your stream clearly.
I meant to. I was distracted by the electricity going out.
Okay, all right.
And wine.
And lots of wine. Yeah, it's gone, people. It's gone. But no,
Did you have that entire bottle while
yes,
we feed
I
on
did.
stream?
Yes, I did. Yeah, so I had to try.
Good.
I had to try and connect back after having a bottle of wine.
You're my kind of person. That's amazing. That's amazing.
And yes, Pete, I will be there Tuesday to annoy the fuck out of you. It's gonna be fun too.
That's good because I was doing the same when you appeared.
Yeah, I know. We've talked
I
about
guess.
that before. I was very nervous on that episode. Can't imagine why. But Dan Game Tank says 206 days to Timeless. Yes, which I will be there too. So will Pete.
I'm really looking forward to it. Can't wait.
Yeah.
It's going to be great seeing you guys in person as well.
Yeah, definitely. Just have
Yeah, it's going to be a great.
great.
I can't wait to go. I can't wait to go back to the arcade. I was at Timeless last year, and the arcade club in Bury is phenomenal. And like I was convinced at the time. I was like, so it's my 40th this year, and I was like, I want to have my 40th birthday at the arcade. And I don't know if that's going to happen or not, but that would be like the best 40th birthday ever.
Yeah. I was talking to my best men on Friday about it, and I was like, "Oh, I could go to an arcade in Manchester." And like, "Ooh, Manchester." I was like, "Yeah, but 4th floor arcade." And they were like, "Yeah, but Manchester."
But it's the biggest arcade in like Europe. Yeah.
Well, we're all the way. We're all the way down south. It's a long way to go.
I mean, I am too. I used to live in Manchester. I'm very fond of Manchester. I'd like to go back whenever I can. So knowing that there is the biggest arcade in Manchester in Europe is like a really good reason to go. So yeah.
I'm flying in from Ireland. I'm in a whole different country, Pete.
Yeah, but you aren't my friends who don't travel much.
No,
I think you're kind of closer though, right? Like
Actually, yes, you are.
It's like this far.
Yes, but you're taking...
Max came over and it was like 55 minutes.
Yeah, but you're taking a detour to me, like to come here. So,
I mean, yeah, because I'll be staying at Pete's and he's like all the way south of London. Cussy is my new favorite word according to Cincho. I agree. Max says more wine needed. Yes, always. Oh, hello, Amy. Drunk woman is always here. She's always here, right beneath the surface. I just need a bottle of wine. Cincho says 69 cussy and wine. Wine dying 69 cussy and... Actually, it should be cussy 69. But yes.
Is that an Alanis Morissette lyric?
Yes, it is. It is. I'm so glad you recognized it.
Oh, of course you'd know that.
I love Jagged Little Pill. That's one of my favorite albums ever.
Yay! Every show, Andrew and I have more and more in common. Like every show.
It's the song. It's Right Through You. That's the song, right?
That's it. Yes.
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, such a good album. Nana says, "Oh, Kylie, Pete, I have to know, what did you think about the Indiana Jones game?" I think we should all talk about that for just a little bit of seconds. Did everybody watch the Microsoft thing?
I did.
I
was
did.
pleasantly surprised with it.
I think you'll be talking about that on Tuesday, Pete.
Probably.
Yeah.
I'll keep my thoughts aside for then, shall I?
Yeah, maybe do that. But what about you two guys? What did y'all think of that? Just a little brief overview.
It looked interesting. I'm not as big of a fan as Indiana Jones as my partner is, and my partner saw it and just went, no, thank you. And he's a fan of the original like LucasArts point and click Indiana Jones.
Yes. Oh,
and he was like, why is it not that? I mean, I get it. Like, this is what people make these days, and it probably will be quite fun. It looks interesting, but yeah, it's just kind of like, I need to see more. So.
That's my exact thoughts, actually. But go ahead, Dick.
Yeah, pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen much, to be honest. I've seen clips on Twitter, and I've seen everyone talking about it.
Yeah. It was really hyped a lot, which was weird to me, because I didn't think it was anything special.
This is probably embarrassing to admit, seeing as that I'm supposed to have my sort of ear to the ground, but I didn't even know that it was coming out.
Oh,
and then I was just surprised by it today.
There was a lot of people who didn't know.
I mean,
Pete and I were
fine.
surprised.
You have the excuse. You work on indie games specifically.
Exactly.
But indie, as in Indiana Jones, it's an indie game. Haha.
That was appalling. That was appalling even by your standards.
Never. I have no standards.
We'll have to do a one-off special just about all the indie games.
Yes.
That would work perfectly. I love puns. Yes. But yeah, I'm a huge Indiana Jones fan. Like, huge. Like, to the point where I have not watched the last two films because I think they're awful.
They're pretty bad.
Oh, so bad. And yes, I have played the arcade versions of the indie games that were like in the early 90s, and then also the LucasArts version stuff, and I'm not impressed. I'm not, but I don't know that it's for me. I think it's for the newer generation, honestly. You know?
Yeah, that's true. That is true, but it's a shame because there are so many people of our generation who love Indiana Jones. Like, I remember, like, did anybody else have this at their school where you'd have like a film club at your primary school, and you'd after school you'd all like gather around and they'd put a film on, and you'd go to the little tuck shop at the back and buy sweets and like little panda pops and stuff, and then you watch the film.
We didn't have sweets, but we had a film club. We watched The Hobbit, the cartoon Hobbit.
Oh really?
Oh.
Yeah, we did like the Goonies. We did Indiana Jones.
Back
all
to
that
the
kind
Future.
Of stuff. Yeah, it was. Yeah, incredible.
So good, so good.
I wish my school was as cool as that.
Yeah, mine too. I do as well.
Oh, love it. Yes. So, Amy says, Kylie is going to Timeless. Yes, from Northern Ireland, I am. Big Jesse says, it's quicker for Max to get to the Midlands to Kiley than to drive to me in the South. Yeah, that's what's crazy. We're literally, like, on the map. We're like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nana says, I'm looking into everything and how it would cost because I'm probably going to go just stay there for a week and look around and also meet some friends. I assume you're talking about Timeless. Nana, that would be so freaking cool. So cool. Do it. So, it's Wolfenstein,
Make it so.
But yes, there you go. I like that. Make it so. It's Wolfenstein, but with indie in it, basically. Could go either way. Oh, that's a good point. Oh, I like that. Oh, crap. Are you changing my mind?
Is it Wolfenstein New Order or is it Wolfenstein Youngblood?
Yeah, that's a good...
That would change my opinion. Mm.
I like New Order. I'm not going to lie. I actually did like New Order.
Yeah, Youngblood not as good.
Not as good.
Uh,
And voice acting
no.
is bad. But, oh gosh, yeah. Nana said, I did. I thought it was pretty bad, but Square showed up with Visions of Mana, and that game looks great.
I'm going to keep my thoughts aside.
Oh, okay. We'll hear that
I
on
have to,
Tuesday.
I'm sorry.
There's a little plug to join Pete on Max's stream on Tuesday. I'm very curious. I've said this before to, I believe, Sincho, actually, on this show, but I've had too much wine. Sincho, if you're still there, the Mana game was my first JRPG, and I loved it. But I was playing it on the Game Boy. I don't play JRPGs now. That's what's weird. Like, I turned like 17, 18, and I just dropped JRPGs like they were a hot potato.
Well, who has time for them? That's
maybe
like
that's
40, 50
it.
hours of your life.
You know what? That
It's a
could
long time.
actually, yeah, that could actually be it. I just didn't have the time. Big Jesse says, proud of you, Kiley. I don't remember why. It can't be because I finished an entire bottle of wine in the setting of one show. But Manic says,
I'm proud of you for finishing a whole bottle of wine.
Manic says, I have to say this is a puntastic stream so far. Oh, we love puns here. Central says, for the dumber generation, you mean? Yeah. Shots fired. Just kidding. Max says, if it's like Youngblood, then it's going to be trash. Exactly. Agreed. 100%. Yeah. Nana, yes, I want to play Wolfenstein at least. Those games seem like the more realistic Doom. And I like Doom 2016. Okay. I love Doom. We know this. The new Doom. We did a whole review over it and everything. And I enjoyed Doom 2016. Wolfenstein Youngblood? No. just no. No. It's not even...
Don't do it.
No, exactly. Save yourself.
Do you remember the Xbox game Return to Castle Wolfenstein?
Yes, I do.
That's incredible. That's probably my favorite Wolfenstein game. I love that
Oh
game.
my
It's
gosh.
so good.
It added like a layer and stories, and it was like, oh, I could get into... I'm really into lore, and I was like, oh, I could get into the Wolfenstein lore. Which actually, if you research it, it's really cool, actually. It's cool. It's not just like killing Hitler. But, although that is a part of it.
Not just killing Hitler, there's more.
There's more to it. But Sincho is lurking from afar. Shadow Warrior 2013. Oh, I remember that. Is the best new age boomer shooter, even better than Doom 20. I am actually going to agree with Sincho on this. I enjoyed Shadow Warrior 2013 in comparison to Doom 2016. But I also thought there's an element of like humor to it that I really liked. So yeah.
If you like boomer shooters, there's a really cool one that we had at an exhibit last year. It's called Hellscreen.
Oh right.
It's like a boomer shooter with a rear view mirror, so you can see behind you at all times.
Oh, that's interesting.
It's a really, really unique sort of take on the genre.
I might look into that. That's very cool, actually.
It's awesome. Yeah.
Max says, but New Order, Old Blood, and the new Colossus were awesome. However, no thought has been put into Youngblood. Exactly. I even liked Wolfenstein on 360, which had we just talked about all the occult, but not many people liked it. And then Sinjo said, agreed with Mags that the sequels to Shadow Warrior sucked. Yeah, they did. Sinjo says, hit me up for boomer shooters and I'll hook y'all up. Okay, chat, I will give you about 2 more minutes before we go ahead and end the stream. It's been a weird one because we had to break at the end of it, of all times. Oh, but
yeah.
The storm seems to have calmed down now, but you guys, I kid you
Definitely not here.
I was gonna say it's coming in towards you guys now. But it was crazy. Like, I know my mic doesn't pick it up, but it was like, I was a little bit scared. I'm in my basement. I almost said dumpster. This is not a dumpster. This is a basement. Hello, fine. So I'm in my basement, which means I'm protected and all that stuff. But it sounded awful up there. Let's see.
I mean, for a dumpster, it's a pretty good sound quality.
I don't know why I said dumpster. But Cincho says, who has watched AGDQ? What does that mean?
That
Awesome
sounds
games
really
done
familiar.
quick.
It does. Oh, is it
That's it.
the charity thing?
Awesome
with
games
the...
done quick.
Yeah. Okay. I actually didn't watch it this time around, but I usually normally always watch it. But I didn't this time.
We've been really naughty. We've just not been doing anything really other than debug all day, debug all night.
I was gonna say putting a huge award show together, maybe that, and also publishing a magazine. That's just a little thing you do on the side.
I'm playing Prince of Persia.
Oh, okay. Mag says, final question. Who would be the most ideal person you would love to interview for the magazine? Oh, I like this question. From gaming past or present. Ooh, I like that a lot.
Alive or dead?
That's such a hard question because it's like my instinct is someone like John Romero.
Right.
And like he technically like started as an indie, right?
Right.
He probably isn't considered one now per se, although he's still independent, but just hugely known.
But his new company is an indie company. But you're right, he's very well known, and obviously
he's. I would say he would be someone I'd want to interview just to meet him, but we've met him now, so we've done that. Yeah. Didn't interview him.
No, you're too busy for that. I mean, in a similar vein, somebody like Mojang. Because Minecraft started off as an indie thing.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to know about that. But also Ed McMillan, who did Binding of Isaac, would be a great one. So
How about Phil Fish?
Phil Fish would be a crazy one to do. That'd be very interesting indeed.
Which one is he? He's the only one I'm not.
Bez.
What is it?
He's Bez.
Oh, holy crap! I forgot all about that game.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah, that would be crazy. Oh, that's a brain. I'd like that pick. Yeah.
Yeah. I like the controversy.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Oh, that's very cool. Let's see. Everyone's telling me it's awesome games done quick, advanced games done quick. Yeah, awesome games done quick. It's pretty good this year. Yeah, I normally do watch it every year. I did not watch it this year. Sincho said, I'd interview Jesus. He'd be mind blown. Thanks, Sincho. Mike says, just make sure there's no sharp edge objects when you interview Phil Fish. Yes. Very true. Yeah. Jesse, when I first read it, I thought it said Jesse, and then I realized Cincho had typed Jesus. So yes, Jesse's like, I'm right here. It's pronounced Jesse.
Same thing.
All right, chat. If you have any more questions, I'm giving you about 2 minutes, and then we're gonna wrap this up because, well, all of these people probably have to go to bed. I don't go to bed till 3. So
that's a you problem.
I'll probably be with you today. I'll be up. I've got more editing to do. So.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, because if it's supposed to go out tomorrow or the next day.
Tomorrow was a shock to me. Tomorrow, I'm not going to be sleeping tonight.
What's sleep?
What's sleep? Yeah.
True.
Oh, I do remember my old publishing days. Yeah, it was. Oh, yeah. We had to go live every Wednesday. So Tuesday nights we were up all night. Oof, yeah. Yeah. So Dan Game Tank says it's not going to be an early one. I don't think it will. Unless you consider like 3 or 4 in the morning early. From that side of things.
Well, there's a few people in your chat that would agree that that's completely normal for me.
Oh wow, yeah. Oh goodness. But that's
it's kind of become what I've been known for at this point.
Well, that's the life of a publisher, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, it's the gamer life as well, right? Stay up all
Yeah.
night playing.
Exactly.
Until you're old and can't do it.
You're not old, Pete, because I'm not old.
I'm old.
I'm not old, so.
I feel like I'm older than all of you, and I'm like worried now
You're
because
not.
that makes me feel really old.
I will say this: you are not older than all of us. So,
No, this is a fair point by Dan. He said 4 a.m. used to be my normal bedtime until I got a normal job.
Oh, well,
And
see,
yes, that's the
Yeah.
problem with normal
Mhm.
jobs.
yeah, like
True.
I run my own business.
Normal
I make
jobs
my
are
own hours.
overrated.
Yeah, exactly. Who wants
Yeah,
normal?
saying to the person who's got his normal job tomorrow.
His 9 to 5, steady
Yeah,
and
thanks,
stable
Just go in and
job.
quit. Just go in, quit, and then just see what happens after that. I mean,
Yeah.
That's
what I
And then you
do.
don't have a job anymore.
Honestly, I'm pretty sure my fiance would absolutely ruin my life for going, we've just taken a mortgage out. What are you doing?
Hey, I walked in, quit, and moved to another country with no money. So there you go. And it's worked
Unless, of
out
course, there's a
great.
full-time staff position at Debug going.
Oh,
Hint,
there you
hint,
go.
nudge, nudge.
Oh,
Oh, goodness. Game Tank says, I miss 4 a.m. is defo my inbuilt bedtime. Yeah, mine's around 3. So between 3 and 4, that's when I actually get sleepy.
Yeah.
But I'm only sleepy for about 3 hours. And then I'm up at 6.
My
Oh.
favorite thing is when you're up at 4 and someone messages you and they say, "Hey, why are you still awake?" Well, why are you
Not
still
now.
awake?
Exactly. It's true.
We all know we're as bad as each other.
It's the truth. I mean, that is just how that goes. Let's see. My Cincho says my bedtime is still 2 a.m. though, but I can work from home, which makes it easier. That definitely makes it easier. And then Big Jesse says getting the mortgage is the hard bit. You can quit now. You have it.
I could.
Oh.
The
Make
bills
poor-
won't get paid.
I say my poor Rachel worked twice as hard.
She already works hard enough.
Andrew, did you just quack?
You can't prove it.
No, because I will do it. The old favourite from the happy hour.
Oh gosh. It's coming, isn't it, Pete? Go for it. Do it.
Emotional damage.
Amazing.
Oh goodness. Wait.
This is going
Cincho?
to devolve into chaos.
Cincho, is that a typo,
Good.
or did you really mean that? I'm confused.
I
as
think
to-
he means that.
What does that mean?
Just read it. It might become.
Cincho says, in our After Dark special, getting up in panties and starting to work is a dream.
Because,
Very good, Andrew.
I should do these more often. This is a good laugh.
We always have
Can
a
we
good
come back
time.
every week?
You can come
Definitely
back every week. We always have a good laugh after the show. But actually, you should catch our last 4 shows. It was me and Mags hosting Happy Hour, where we both drank wine, and Pete joined us. So it's
I wasn't
completely
even
irrelevant.
supposed to. I was in the process of a house move and I got bored halfway through.
Perfect one, Andrew. Perfect description. Perfect audio description. Cincho says I never typo. So, okay.
I don't judge.
I
don't
judge anyone. I
You
just
do
drink.
you.
I drink an entire bottle of wine in one stream. I don't have the capacity to judge. Thank you, Andrew. Thank you. Max says,
I mean,
hey.
is this more chaotic than the last time you came on, Andrew? Or worse?
I think this is more chaotic.
It's up there.
Oh, yeah, because your last one, Oodles was here as well.
Oh,
And-
good.
Yeah,
yes,
that's
that's right.
right. So that was like,
oh, my
wait.
days. Yeah,
Yeah.
that got
That was
Quite
crazy
interesting.
times. We should have Oodles and Andrew back. Max says, hey, it was a win-win for me. I was drinking wine. Yes, that's how you won. And then Cincho said, I did nothing wrong, ever. Yeah, right, Cincho. And Big Jesse says, my company were really annoyed at the Monday morning call that I wore a GIMP mask too. They realized the mask was fine when I stood up.
Have we seen the kind of degenerates that Mags' lot brings over here? We love you, but Jesus Christ, you lot are too much for me sometimes.
Yeah, you guys are too much, not me from the last 4 episodes. But yeah, check out the first episode of Happy Hour where I am just a sexual deviant, apparently. Because we put no restrictions on those. We put an explicit tag, and I used that explicit tag to its full effect. Jesse says it's all Mags' fault. I don't know. Cincho says, I can't even count the times I sat in our company-wide call with boxers.
Wait, it's changed. I thought it was panties, now it's boxers.
Oh, there you go.
Make up your mind, man.
Hey, I do most of these shows in what we call jogging pants. I forget what you guys call them.
Trackies.
Trackies? Yeah. So
Yeah,
I'll be like,
trackies, jogging bottoms.
I'll be like all perfect from waist up and then wearing my trackies. But RuPaul does that too.
It's the reason why I don't stand up. Who knows what's going on down
That's the reason, Pete. That's the reason.
Nobody wants to see my fat ass. That's right.
You mean PHAT as in that. Oh gosh. So Max says she drank 2 bottles that night. Yes, I did. And she bagged herself a mag that night.
Any hopes of me going to bed anytime soon we're not happening. Nightmares are you tonight, guys. Thanks a lot.
Okay, it's very hard for me to blush. That actually happened. Big Jesse says, you brought me here. Cincho says, I used the explicit tag explicitly. We sure did. Cincho said, I don't know the difference really. And Cincho says, is panties a lady thing? Yes, Cincho, it is. Either way, I won't take it back. I would not have you take it back. Big Jesse says, I want to see that fat ass, Pete.
Timeless August, be there.
Jesse is fantastic.
Jesse's
seriously.
wonderful. He's absolutely wonderful. Yes, Pete, you'll have to join him in the toilet. But Pete and I are supposed to be picking out hotel rooms. I forgot. Keep reminding me, Pete. I promise I'll remember. Max says yes. Fat ass contest live at Timeless. Big Jesse says, I will be at Timeless. Pete, you're frozen, by the way. I don't know if you can still hear me. Max is making me. Cincha says, Fat Pete, best Pete. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Sadly, Pete's frozen. Hopefully he'll come back, and then I can end the show. Let's see how much he missed, since it was mostly about him and his fat ass.
What if Howard got knocked out?
Yeah, I see that. Where did you drop off at, Pete?
I don't know.
Was it after you were talking about your fat ass?
Hang on.
And now 2 of us are icons.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, yes. You're icons. Divas and icons.
Icons in
the
diva in the diva sense.
See, exactly. See, Andrew, we get each other.
we do.
Yes.
Yeah. I feel like, do we only get each other because we're both drunk at the same time?
Yes. Yes, the answer to that is yes. Oh, goodness. Yeah. So I think we'll go ahead and wrap it up. I was supposed to wrap this up at 9:30. But to be fair, I lost my electricity. It died. and took the podcast
Yeah.
down with it.
And so did I.
Oh, and then Jesse says, any way we can get Pete's ass in the competition that's not been announced yet?
What competition?
The fat ass competition, Pete. You're
Oh,
spearheading.
what, a timeless?
Yes, at Timeless. You're spearheading the fat ass competition.
Okay, well, I'm clearly the only contestant, so therefore the only winner.
There you go. Oh goodness, but Jesse, you'll be the judge.
Max, can I be a judge of this? I'll be a judge as well on the fast competition. Thank you.
Yes.
I
Jesse
think we need more
and Andrew.
contestants, though.
No, I think it should just be Pete as the contestant and Jesse and Andrew as the judges. And we all win. But there you go. You heard it
No,
from
it's
the
like
man
Alien
himself.
versus Predator. No matter who wins, we lose.
I think we all win. But the man himself says, yes, you can, Andrew. So
Thank you very much.
all right, this has been
We have
amazing.
to.
Go ahead. Yes,
Yeah, I was gonna say we have to come up with some ways to like judge the fattest ass. Like,
Well,
is there like the
twerking.
jelly wobble?
Yeah, I was
like,
gonna say
twerking?
yes. Twerking has to be involved. Pete, I hope you're listening. Twerking.
Yeah. Like bouncing a quarter off it.
Yes.
Stuff like that.
Speedo
Yeah.
competition. And then slapping it and seeing how far the sound carries. We've got options.
I mean,
there's
yeah.
options.
Yeah. We could be getting into like sexual
There's
misconduct
a
at
jiggle
that point, but-
contest.
Oh yes, see, Cincho says slapping sound. Max says consisting of 5 rounds. Oh goodness, and Pete survives all 5 rounds. But
If I ever wanted to feel like a stripper, that would be a time.
there you go. But Pete, are you back with us so I can end the show? No, Cincho.
You
no.
just end the show. I'm just end the show. I'm sticking around as on my earphones on my phone. It'll do.
Okay. As long as we can hear you, it's fine. And Max says, and this, ladies and gentlemen, was just the start of the downfall of Timeless 2024.
The downfall. This is going to bring so many more people.
Exactly. We can call it the time ass. It's the time ass. And Pete's
Oh wait, hang on.
There you go. You
Right,
couldn't ask for much
Look,
more
it
than
won't
that.
be called the timeless. It won't be called timeless next time. It'll be time out. All right.
Entirely for sure. Yeah.
Oh goodness. Yes, Cincho says stay fresh, peeps. See you next time. Yes, see you next Tuesday. Cincho for Pete. And someone said another one
Alright.
this week. No, that was perfect. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Which spells twat. And I thought that was genius.
That does. That's very true. That's just okay. That's good.
Oh, anyway, I'm easily amused. I think we figured that part out. Even when I'm not drinking a full bottle of wine. But Max says, quick, we need a rebrand. Baby Tracy says, currently updating the website cover image to be a pic of Pete's fat ass. Oh, now I need
That's
to
a
make
way
a
to scare
t-shirt.
people off from coming to Timeless.
No, you just don't know. We're going to call it Time Ass, and it's just going to be you, Pete. And Andrew and Jesse will judge the competition, but you'll win because you're the only one competing. Okay, this has been a
It
wonderful...
sounds like sexual harassment, the show.
That's
I did
happy
say
hour.
that. Yeah.
I was gonna- well, but that's also happy hour. That's what I did to Max. But I win. But anyway, oh my gosh, Jesse says Pete's ass is so fat we have time dilation effects.
Wow.
But see,
I don't know how
Jesse,
to feel
I'm sorry,
about this
I
right
have
now.
to say this, Jesse, but does that mean I'm about to say something really bad? Time dilation, we're bringing wormholes into this, and wormholes and asses, put it together. I'm not doing that.
Oh dear.
Saving that one for the right time.
That was perfect. That was perfect. Yes. Oh, goodness. Sincho says that's why the show always goes overtime. Exactly. Max says, sorry, you're not allowed to feel Pete. That's round 4 of the competition. You get to feel the fat ass. Okay, we're really going to wrap this up because it is 10 o'clock. Oh, goodness.
Yeah. Kylie needs another bottle of wine.
I need another bottle of wine and maybe some codeine. I don't know how to get through this. Okay.
I need to lie down after this.
Well, Big Jesse has clipped it, so yes. Wow, that's gonna be fun. Sincho vanishes. He always does. We're gonna wrap this up. It has been so much fun. We hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as we have. Probably because it's been a lot of fun. Again, apologies for the weird ass break in the sort of towards the end. I lost electricity, but we got it back on track. Pete's gonna edit it together, and you'll never know. You'll listen to the podcast, and you'll never know.
Genius.
Yes.
Or will you?
Or will you? Yeah, Pete will just interrupt it and be like, "This is where Kylie lost her electricity. Continuing now." Max,
No. I think
yeah.
just leave it as is.
There you go. I have a two-parter. Max says, good night, all. Fantastic show, everyone. Thank you, thank you. And then Nana says, basically me every episode. And Jesse says, Kylie, this is going to be bad. Every finger hovers over clip button. Yeah. And we've been clipped, Pete, many times. And Dan Game Tank says,
I've
good night, you
noticed.
lovely light. Yeah, lovely lot. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us. The podcast will be live tomorrow on Spotify. I don't know what Pete's doing, but it's a lot of noises. It'll be live on Spotify.
That's actually what you can hear is the weather.
Oh,
wow.
It is getting over there. I saw the little radar. You guys are getting it. But what was he gonna say? Oh yeah, catch us on Spotify. Share it with your friends. Go out, do whatever. But it's actually anywhere you can find podcasts. It's just Spotify is our main thing, but it's everywhere. And also, if you do Spotify, you can interact with us because we do little interacty things because they do that now. So, yay! But I think that's it for us. Okay, you have anything to add, Pete?
No.
Okay. Anyway, thank you so much, and we will see you guys next week. Bye!